What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over several quick tips that should help you play better in Chapter 5 Season 3. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, comment down below which tip helped you most, and if you would like to use my creator code in the item shop, it is EvolveJake, just like my channel name. The first thing we're going to talk about is going to be the pickaxe trick, because this season is very vehicle-oriented, and the pickaxe trick is one of the best counters to vehicles. The way this works is you swing your pickaxe as you're entering a car. You keep your pickaxe button held the entire time. You tap the get in the car button, and then you get in the car. And then you look at the person you want to pickaxe, and you can pickaxe them and damage them through the car. And this has been a thing for as long as cars have been a thing in Fortnite, to my knowledge. I've seen a lot of people saying it doesn't work this season. It still works. It's just inconvenient sometimes because two of the most common vehicles or the most OP ones are the mythic ones, and they only have 2 seats. And what's going to happen if you try to do this to a 2-seated car, like let's say one player, you're fighting in a solo and then somebody gets on the gunner seat. When you get in the car, you're going to go into the driver's seat, and it doesn't work if you get put in the driver's seat. And if the driver's seat is unoccupied in a car, when somebody gets into it, they're going to get into the driver's seat. So that's, I think, what's throwing a lot of people off and saying the pickaxe trick doesn't work this season, or that it doesn't work versus the mythic vehicles. I'll have a clip on screen now of me doing it to the mythic 4-seater car. It's mainly just because 2-seater cars are very prominent, and if you're fighting one player who's on the turret, it's going to put you in the driver's seat, and then it doesn't work. But on 4-seater cars, it works very well. Or cars that have a open passenger seat, you are able to pickaxe the person through the car, and it is a decent counter to some of these vehicles. Another decent counter is going to be that the battle bus vehicle, which you can find roaming the map on patrol, it has an EMP that can be activated by honking the horn. And EMPs have been one of the biggest counters to vehicles ever in Fortnite. It's unfortunate they're not in the loot pool currently, and that the only way to get access to the EMP is by using another car. But if you want to take advantage of this battle bus, you can honk the horn and EMP people. This can be a very good counter to cars because you force them to stop. The turret still works. The player using the turret can still use it while the car is EMP'd. As of the time I'm recording this, they may change that, but it at least forces the car to stop and should make it much easier for you to beam the person out or just grief that car in some way. So I don't really know how much this is something that I'm going to actively take advantage of, but I could see a situation where, like, I'm playing against a car and I see the battle bus and then I go for it and use it. But I don't think I'm actively going to be using the battle bus to take advantage of this. Especially because the turrets on it, I feel like, are more exposed than the car turrets. The nitro item has a lot of different effects on players and cars. For cars, it'll make you drive faster, I think. It makes the turrets faster. I believe it makes you use less fuel. And it gives you better ramming power. And a lot of people thought the turrets shot faster with nitro, but it turns out that if you're in a nitroed car, any weapon you have will shoot faster. So somebody can be in the passenger seat of a car and just beam using the nitro if the car is nitroed. If you're on foot, it doesn't affect your fire rate. It's exclusively in cars. For a player, one thing that nitro does that's good is it does negate fall damage, but you have to do the nitro jump. If you just sprint off of something with nitro, you could still take fall damage. I'll have a clip of it on screen now. You have to do the nitro jump to gain immunity to fall damage, kind of similar to the Zeus medallion we had last season. The mythic cars are incredibly powerful in Chapter 5 Season 3, and I very much expect them to get nerfed. These are the ones with the yellow flags on them, and they can be obtained by eliminating the bosses at their POI. Once you eliminate the boss, the garage will open. I think you have to use the medallion to open it. The cars are very OP, and if the boss is on patrol, they'll be using their mythic car. So if the boss is out of their POI on patrol, you'll still see them on the map. They'll be in their mythic car. If you eliminate them at the POI, then you have to go and get it out of the garage. But they're very, very powerful. They come fully decked out. They have unlimited nitro, and they regenerate health over time. So pretty much in any situation I'm in over the course of a game, I want to grief these cars. Like, if I see 2 cars fighting and one is a regular car and one is a mythic car, I'm going to hard focus that mythic car, because if we don't destroy it now, it's going to get its health back. Whereas, like, if you're fighting a normal car, you could shoot it twice with your crossbow, do 500 damage, And like the fact that you did that 500 damage will matter if unless that person finds a way to repair it, like with a repair torch or some of the other means we'll get to later on in the video. But the mythic ones actively regenerate health over time. So if you do not get rid of them, the damage you have kind of evaporates basically. So I would hard target these mythic cars. Dealing with them in game is pretty irritating. The bow does 250 damage to vehicles, so it does do decent damage, but they have like 2,000 health, and like I just said, the mythics regen, so it's like rough to eliminate it with just the bow on your own. And then the splash damage on these bows seem very weird. I've had times where I get no splash damage at all, even when shooting very close to the driver. Like I did it in a custom, and I'll have the clip on screen now. I'm shooting at the passenger seat, and the driver is taking no explosive damage. But when I shoot the person directly, they do take explosive damage, so I don't know what's going on. It just seems like the blast radius on this bow is so much less than the Chewbacca one we had before, or the explosive repeater rifle we had in the past as well. The mythic bow, when I used it, was doing consistent splash damage throughout the car. So I don't know if the mythic one just has a much better blast radius, or if the mythic one is just better at doing this, or if it's just Fortnite being Fortnite where things work inconsistently. I don't have a lot of experience using the mythic one, but from what I have used, it seems like the mythic consistently gets splash damage through cars. So this could be the biggest counter to vehicles right now. The regular bow is good at countering cars, but it doesn't seem like the splash damage is good at affecting people. The mythic one, from my experience, consistently got splashed through. The turrets of cars cannot damage the car or the driver. I'm not sure about the explosive one, but the automatic turret, you can't just get in it and then fry the car as a means to try to like make it irrelevant, you know? You can't shoot the driver from the turret either. That's something I've been asked about a decent amount. The mythic gatekeeper shotgun is still in the game, and the mythic frenzy auto shotgun is also back in the game, but you have to duel the boss to get these mythics. Cerberus is at Grimgate, Oscar is at Classy Courts, and you have to go into the dialogue and select the duel. If you eliminate them without dueling them, you just get a pump. So if you want to get the mythics, make sure you go into the speech and do the duel option. Another thing returning from last season is going to be the dashes that you can get from the green water in the underworld biome. And I think these are very good. If you have the option of going and picking up some dashes, whether it's like that stuff is in zone or you're passing through that area anyways, I would highly recommend getting the dashes. I think they're very good at dodging cars that are trying to run you over, and they're also very good at dodging players using the spam attack with the gloves, which a lot of players do, just try to get on you and melee you with the gloves. But if you have dashes, you can kind of just dash away from their melee, and then that's probably just going to be an automatic win for you in the fight once you've dodged like one of their attacks. Be careful when trying to get the green water though if you have nitro, because when you have nitro, you can actually just sprint over water. And if you do this, you will not get the dashes. I'll have a clip on screen now where I thought I got dashes because I went into the water, but I had the medallion, which gave me unlimited nitro, so I didn't get any dashes here. And I actually end up almost losing to someone just spam attacking me with the gloves, because in my mind, I was playing to kind of let them get close to me and then just dash away. But when I tried to dash, there was no dash. So if you do have nitro, just know that sprinting over the water does not give you dashes. The big ammo boxes spawn more frequently now, and these actually can drop mini shields again. They can also drop nitro, which is pretty good, and they can drop the repair torch. I'm not sure if they can drop white heals. I think I got a med kit out of one, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know for sure they can drop minis, nitro, and repair torches. I'm not a big fan of the car combat at all. It's just not my preferred way to play the game, like the turrets on cars and stuff. But using cars to just destroy the other cars is one of the best ways to combat them, I think. Like I said, I'm not a fan of this gameplay. I would much rather it just not be the case. I think this season has a lot of potential, but how insane the cars are is just not it for me. But using them does make it easier for you to destroy other cars, so that might be something that you want to keep in mind if you have access to a car with a turret on it. It's probably best to take advantage of it. And I think just like consistently getting mods on your vehicles is unfortunately going to be a huge aspect of the season. Gas stations around the map spawn several car mods, and from what I've seen, there's usually one mod of each type. Like there will be a weapon mod, a bumper mod, and tire mod at each gas station. And these weapon mods, or these car mods, do regenerate over time. Like the boxes will you'll see it kind of like filling up blue, and that's when it'll come back. So like I said, using cars is one of the best ways to combat cars. Getting mods on your car, you can consistently do it at gas stations. So maybe like wherever you're going to land, loot that area, and then rotate towards a gas station to get a car with suitable mods to hopefully be able to combat other cars later on in the game. I think also controlling island and fourth zone is pretty nice if you don't like dealing with cars. There are ways for people to get the cars up there, kind of depending on the angle of how they hit the rift. But more often than not, if you're on island, you're not going to have to deal with any cars, which is nice. And it also makes it easier for you to grief other cars if you have the bow. You can just kind of sit up on island and shoot bow after bow after bow shot at the cars and kind of reduce their HP that way. And like I said, the mythics will regen health over time on their own, but the other ones won't. So if there's no mythic cars in play, griefing the cars while on island should make the rest of the game easier for you. Another really just ridiculous thing about the cars is that the grenade turret is amazing at clearing out weapon bunkers. If you have anybody camping in a weapon bunker, you can just drive up here with a grenade turret and just shoot grenade after grenade after grenade. And even if you don't eliminate them this way, you're going to get a lot of damage and kind of force them into a corner where it's much harder for them to play the game when you do eventually kind of drop down there. If you're using any of the 4-seater cars and you want to swap to your gunner seat and then go back to driving, like let's say you're playing solos, it's going to be faster for you to get out of the car and get back in than swap through all the seats again. So this might be counterintuitive, but if you want to kind of keep your car's momentum while doing drive-bys in a 4-seater car, just quickly get out and get in. This might be difficult timing for some of you, but like if you've been playing around cars and you do this, you'll get used to it. It's a lot faster to exit the vehicle and get back in, because if the driver's seat is not occupied when you get in, you always get into the driver's seat like I was talking about before. So just quickly getting out and getting in is much faster than swapping through all the seats. The cactus in the desert biome does give you shield, and it actually will heal your car if you drive over it. So if you're in the desert biome, this is something you might want to make use of. And I found that even if I'm in a car and I run it over, I still get shield on my player as well. There are healing pads around the map and at like gas stations for you to heal and refuel your car as well. But the cactus is just nice if you're like on the move, you know, and like in a fight or anything. One interesting thing that I think a lot of people might not know is that the combat shotgun is actually fully automatic, and you can just hold the shoot button down on this weapon to kind of shoot it at the optimal fire rate, in the same way that the gatekeeper shotgun is also fully automatic. You don't have to tap the button each time. You can just hold the shoot button and it'll shoot all its shots. But that is going to be it for this video. I obviously will have more specific videos on certain aspects of the game, but this is just a lot of quick tips that I thought would be beneficial, that I thought was helpful, that I've kind of learned over the past 2 days of playing the game. And I feel like as I figured out some of these things, it definitely made playing this season a bit easier. As always, if you guys found this helpful, informative, interesting, remember to give it a like, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.